Hello everyone, welcome to the Digital Road Track Assembly. We are currently at our final workshop, which is the International Service Workshop with a team of global opportunities with Road Track. My name is Wonky and I am from the Road Track Club of Pudu and I shall be your moderator for today. We will strongly encourage everyone to turn on your camera so that we can all see your faces. And you will also be muted during this workshop to ensure that there's no disruption, probably until the FAQ session. But however, if you do have any questions along the way, feel free to just leave your comments or any questions at the chat box, and I will assist to address them to both our guest speaker and trainer. So before we start this session today, I would like to first introduce both our trainer and guest speaker. First up, it's our trainer, DRA Lau Likun from the Road Track Club of Ampang. She has more than 7 years of experience in road track, held many different kinds of positions in her home club and also the district, especially surrounding areas such as IS and secretary, which probably tells her strength. She is also very active and supportive towards the district by attending numerous district events from DRC, DRA, and even DAN, and also international events such as APRC. She is a lawyer by profession, single and also available. Of course, today we are also very honored to have our guest speaker today, PDRR Hugo, an alumni from the Road Track Club of Zhongli Nansing District 3500, now 3501, all the way from Taiwan. Not forget to mention, Hugo has more than 15 years of road track experience. During his journey, he was actively involved in the district, contributing and sharing his knowledge and experience for being an advisor for such as road track in Taiwan, APRC, and RILA, etc. So talking about his international exposure, he has also attended not just once, but several times of APRC, Road Track National Convention, Interrota, Rotary Convention, etc. And by profession, he specializes in business management and marketing, currently working on his own startup surrounding e-commerce. So let us give a round of applause to both our trainer and guest speaker. Now, without further ado, we will be kickstarting our workshop by getting an understanding of what international service actually is. And through IS, how do we actually create an international understanding by holding what are the primary roles and responsibility as an IS director. Likun, will you be able to walk us through this?
Yeah, thank you, Wonky. Yeah, so if you ask me what is international service, I first have to explain what is Rotaract. Rotaract is actually a platform for professionals and students to meet new people, to address the social need for the community, to enhance the knowledge and skill that will assist us in the professional development, and to promote better relation between all people worldwide through a framework called friendship and service. So we are all living in a world where we care not just for our own community, but also to embrace among the Rotaractors and all people across the world. So, and based on what I have mentioned before, we can always bring in the 4 service avenues together with international service to create international understanding. For example, fellowship, awareness, service, and cultural exchange. And that is why IS is very important to promote international understanding and goodwill towards all people. In other countries outside Malaysia, or to connect anyone outside Malaysia, that is international service. And as an international service director, the primary responsibility is for you to know and understand the wide problems and opportunities. Then after identifying an organization, you organize activities or projects to give service for promoting international understanding and goodwill towards the people. So 4 simple steps: you brainstorm and identify, and then you plan towards the directions. You lead the planning by forming a committee or delegate the work among your board of directors, and then lastly you promote. So that is basically what my understanding towards IS and how to promote international understanding.
Yeah, thank you, Likun. So she basically explains what IS generally is about. So Hugo, what about you? What are your thoughts on this? Where is there any difference from what you guys are doing currently in Taiwan?
Actually, I think the international service, we do the same in Taiwan, but I think the much difference is because Taiwan is a island, so we are much easier to do the international service because we have 12 districts in Taiwan and more than 3,000 road actors in this area. So we can much easier to connect to other districts. So when we want to do the international service, we always combine the activity with the fellowship or community service or vocational service. We combine together with other districts road actors, and sometimes we will combine with other countries. So when we start to plan the international service project, we can have more flexibility to combine with other district or other countries. So normally we combine with other district in Taiwan because it's much easier in transportation, in communication, in collaboration. We can much easier to combine the resource from each district. So normally, I think the much difference is because we are very easier to connect with other districts because we have a short distance in this island. So that's much different with in Malaysia because in your country you have very long. Like we go to the north or even we go to another side like East Malaysia. We have needed to take airplane. So I think that's much difficulty to combine with other district or other country is your challenge in your country. But in Taiwan, that's much easier, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Hugo. So Taiwan is a little bit different from us, where Taiwan has much more districts compared to us due to their large number of road tractors in Taiwan. So you could have imagined they can do a lot of different collaborations, unlike us probably. So just to give you guys a clearer picture of usually what are the kinds of club-based activities that we usually have, especially from District 3300, where we comes in different forms, such as international hostings when international road tractors come to Malaysia, goodwill visit, community service projects, and even joint collaboration with different clubs, districts, or even NGOs. So passing it back to Likun to actually share with us a little few examples. Likun, I think you will need to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, these are the example of cloud-based projects that you can have. So it can be as small as to learn a foreign language or country day or embassy visit. You get to know a foreign road directors, or you can organize a cultural awareness program. You make some cultural exchange with the friends from other districts, or you can organize a community service project internationally. So the very basic one would be the two thing, which is the hosting and visit. And the difference between hosting and visits is hosting when other road directors come to your country, then you host them. That is called hosting. And if you go to the other country and the other road directors host you, then that is visits. So the very simple one is hosting a visit, and yeah, this is the example. And next, to make yourself, to get a clearer picture of what are the examples of the activities, I would like to share this project by RAC Taylor Lakeside Campus, and they collaborated with RAC Surabaya Persada. So it's called RAC Super, if I'm not mistaken. So they have this literacy visit and fellowship program where they hosted the friends from Indonesia to have a campus visit, to visit their library, and then they have this thing, the discussion, I think they have a PD discussions among themselves, and then they have this literacy and leadership training in their campus. So this is a very basic example of what is a hosting like. And next, we have an international goodwill program to Cambodia by RCUTP. This was a very, very old project by them. So I think a bunch of UTP Rotaractors, they actually went to the Cambodia with their Rotarian advisor, Arthur Yong, and they painted the school in Cambodia, and then they teach the students tuition, teach them simple maths, and then they donated a couple of books to the kids there. So yeah. The next one, we have Intercultural Showdown by RAC Manipal International University, together with Rotaract Club of Samoa University and RAC Pearl Island. Pearl Island is from Sri Lanka. So they have this cultural showdown. They share and promote the unique diversity of the culture and importance of preserving the culture. They all do this, all the sharing via online. And the last phase of this project is that I think many chosen applicants will go to Sri Lanka, and they will be given an opportunity to meet people from different countries. And they were served with social dinner where the culture exchange among the youth applicants took place. So all this project I actually got to know from the social media. So if any of the representative from this university or club, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm giving the wrong information, because these are the project which I think is a very good example to share with the fellow international service directors, where it can be, this is like a sample of cultural exchange awareness program. And then we have hosting, you have visits, and then can we have, there's one very good example of the collaboration between Rotaract Club, and they collaborate with a Rotary Club from outside District 3300. So can we have Kelvin Quay, who was previously from ATC. This was his project during his term in ATC. Project Hope H2O. Yeah, Kelvin, over to you.
Hi everyone, thank you Lee Kun. So just to share, this was a project that Rotaract Club of Advanced Tertiary College, when I was still a uni student, we have carried this out. And basically we have collaborated with the Rotary Club of Tacloban City in the Philippines. Allow me to just do a quick screen sharing. So we have collaborated with them to bring clean water to the victims of the Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, because Tacloban City was one of the most impacted city. So we have actually engaged the Rotary Club of Tacloban. We have reached out to the Rotarians through their Facebook page, and from there we found out that there's a need of clean water. So this project, we have also collaborated with local social enterprise, H2 Go Global. Basically, we have raised funds, around 12,000, to buy 10 of these carry cans, as you can see in this picture. This amazing nanotechnology carry can actually filter any water to clean water to drinkable water instantly. So this was a demo done by the Rotarian from Tacloban. So we have also collaborated with over 20 F&B. We have Burger Lab, Inside Scoop. So basically, it was a huge collaboration. But one thing I would like to highlight is we can always extend an international reach through the Rotary or the Rotaract Club of that country. So this is the picture of the beneficiary. There are a lot of families and children benefited from this. And these are the Rotarians that help us out. Right. Thank you. That's from me. Back to you, Lee Kun.
Yeah, thank you, Kelvin. I think this is a very good example of how a collaboration between a Rotary Club and a Rotary, not only just within the district, and as well as they collaborated with the district from outside Malaysia. So next, I will continue to share my screen. Yeah, wait. Okay. 1 second. The next project that I want to share is this one. Project You Are Not Alone by RAC Bukit Bintang and the Asian Rotary Clubs. I think this is a very good initiative by the Asian clubs that the project focuses on mental health, and I think it will be better explained by the none other than our President Terence Hugo from Bukit Bintang. Yeah. Do you mind share a bit of this international initiative?
Hi, Lee Kun.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I hope the voice is audible without the mic.
Okay, it's good.
So yes, this project actually started on April this year. So we had an idea before that, but this global lockdown will actually speed up the whole process. Basically, what we did is we first formed an alliance of road track clubs around ASEAN, which means we are Southeast Asian countries where it is a 10 members block. However, we do realize that certain countries do not have road track clubs. For example, Vietnam and Brunei. The concern that time is every time when we are doing our projects, we have this weekend project mindset, right? Where every project that most of our clubs did is actually one-off. And that changed like a couple of years ago. The same thing we did with our community service projects. We would like to apply to our international service projects, which means that we love to do projects that is not one-off, but is ongoing for years to come. So, which brings us to this concept of alliance, which means that instead of having one-off project with a twin club or sister club, we have an ongoing project where this block of alliance will function as a club, as its own entity. So we are currently having our own committee and things like that, just like regular clubs like yours. So back to Lee Kun's question on Yana, which we term it, You Are Not Alone. So what we have did is, when we gather these 7 countries, where each country is represented by their own district, we have different, probably over 10 clubs by now. So this is an ASEAN level mental health initiative. And we are also thinking about, a lot of people when they're doing mental health, they think in terms of information, meaning they are spreading posters or videos to educate people on mental health, which is great. But we think, how can we bring this information to action instead? So we decided to have a serial phase, where phase 1, which already started for about probably a month and a half, where we have a listening hotline. If, for example, in any of the 10 countries of ASEAN, anyone with stress due to the lockdown, job losses, studies or work, or even relationship problems, if any of you are watching this, you can simply click our link and get registered at our Google form. And our committee will actually match you with a qualified listener that is an expert at your field. So you can actually have a friend that you can call up to get advice, to basically vent your feeling. I think a lot of media has been reporting that mental health is the next pandemic crisis. People are ignoring this, right? Because of all the crazy things that is happening outside. So that is phase 1. And we have phase 2 coming soon, where we will sit down and have live stream with several mental health experts around ASEAN. That would be our phase 2. And then we have phase 3 and phase 4. So we are looking at not a local mental health initiative, but at an ASEAN level for years to come. So yes, that would be for it, Lee Kun.
Thank you, Terence. I think that is a very good share on how your club is doing the extra effort to make sure the international people are actually doing well during this pandemic. So to wrap up this example of club-based activities that we can all have, you can see actually there are a mixture of service avenues. For example, in terms of service, fellowship, you have the hosting, and then PD, you have the mental health issues. And yeah, So that's why IS is actually one of my favorite avenue because of the wide range of activities that we can have. And it can open us up to many, many opportunities of collaboration between Rotary, same or different districts, or international organization. And for international organization, I think we have one thing I want to highlight is Shelter Box. It's actually they have this collaboration with Rotary, if not mistaken, and it's actually a box where in places where we have disaster, they will buy a shelter box to place at the disaster place to provide a home for the families. So that is one the example of club-based activities. Yeah, that's for my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much on the sharing, Likun. So I do agree with Likun that IS actually provides such a huge exposure, as it doesn't only cover IS itself, but also could be leveraged on community service and even professional development. So now, Hugo, will you be able to share us probably just one of your most significant IS projects that you have participated or organized before during your journey in Taiwan?
Okay. In past few years, I do 1 or 2 international service. Most I do is to do the connection. So normally I would like to do the international service to hold a conference or convention. So I created 2 conventions for Taiwan road actors. One is Taiwan National Road Traffic Convention, because before that we have to go to APRC, then the road traffic in Taiwan from 7 districts, they have to go to APRC to stay together to meet road traffic from other districts. So when I become a chair of Taiwan road actor, I went to Japan to participate in their national convention in Japan. So I think about the issue is why Taiwan don't have any national convention. Even Taiwan Road Act have been 30 years. So I have this idea to service the road act in Taiwan. So I think I can organize all the road actors to create the first Taiwan's national convention. Now after that we have been 6 years to have every year we have a national convention till now. So we don't spend a lot of money, just like the road actor in the university space. They don't have enough money to go abroad to join the APRC. So right now they can only spend about $700 to join the convention. Then they can meet many road actors from other 12 districts. That's my first one. I think this international service project is good for our road actors. And another one is the same, like a convention. We connect to Japan and Korea. We hold it together because in these 3 countries, we have many young people. They like to travel to these 3 countries. So we also have many budget flights. So we since 1 year, I think the APRC in Indonesia, we have 3 chairs, me and the chair from Korea, chair from Japan. We just discussed about right now we have our fellowship conference in each country. Every year, first year in Korea, second year in Japan, third year in Taiwan, and the 4th year back to Korea. And right now have been 5 years. Next year we'll come back to Taiwan. So right now we still have many chance to connect the neighborhood countries to spend less money than before, and have many good connections. Just like me, the most benefit for me is I very like to travel abroad. So right now I can say even I go to any country in Asia, I can find a friend's house to stay. So that's why I think that is much different. If I don't join the Rotary, if I don't join the Rotary, I think that my life will not colorful like this. That's my experience I want to share.
Well, thank you, Hugo. That was such a great experience sharing. I do agree that these international events actually brings up exposures where you get to meet friends from every corner of the world, and then get to expand your connection with international road tractors. So talking about international events, so for those who do not know, we actually do have a few staplet international events where we attend events such as APRC, Inter-Rota, Rotary conventions, or even other conventions in conjunction with even other round trips organized by different districts and different countries. So maybe Hugo, will you be able to share us your experience for attending these events? Where do you find there any difference between these events, and what have you overall gained further from there through attending all these events?
Okay, I think the APRC and the Inter-Rota, they belong to international service, but I think this convention is much different. Because APRC is in area is in Asia Pacific, so it about 20 to 30 countries. But Inter-Rota is whole the world. So I remember I have been to Canada Inter-Rota in 2014. That have been 60 countries Rota actor members join that conference. So let's start from APRC. APRC I've been over than 10 times. I think that's like I always say like a drug. If you add this drug, you will keep add again and again and again. And but I think if you attend the first time, you don't have that kind of feeling. But you attended more than 3 times, you can find some group that will attend every year, some small group, because in those group, the active Rota actors from different countries, they are most active and have many patients to meet other foreign friends. So I think this group will have its own group. So you need to attend more than 2 or 3 times to find this group belong to you, and you will like eat a drug. You will keep join again and again till you graduate from this group. So I think the APRC is much have this kind of feeling for this activity. But for the Inter-Rota, I think the feeling is much different, because Inter-Rota is Rotary International support this activity. That is a whole world convention. Every 3 years we hold this convention again. So I think that's the most high level. I think like you play the game. You from the first one and the second one to the final one in your Rotary career. I think you have been to Inter-Rota once, at least once. So when I went to Canada in 2014, and in that time with Rota actor from Taipei, we go to bidding the Inter-Rota back to Taiwan held in Taipei in 2017. So I have participated. I have joined twice Inter-Rota. I think the most special feeling, I think, is you can see many countries in one conference in whole your life, because 60 countries. Even my experience is when you wake up, even everyone say talk to each other in English, but they have different English from 6 countries type. So every day you have, because you like usually to speak English with your country's people. So, but if the people from India, from Nigeria, from Europe, every day you wake up, you need to take a few hours to come over again and again. So after 7 days, you will have many special cultural experience. And during the Interrota, they still have many, because the prepare team, they will show their country's culture and the food and anything you can feel in that country. So in that 7 days, you don't need to go anywhere. You just follow the activity. You can, I think that's the very high cost performance, the travel group. If you join that, you like the join the very high performance cost performance travel group to experience that country's everything. So I think Interrota is like this feeling. And if you haven't been there before, I think during your Rota career, you have to been to Interrota once. Just like this, Hong Kong will hold, cancel or host next year.
Postpone to next year.
Okay, postpone next year. I still want to then hold the next year, because if it like before in Egypt or in Europe or in Canada, you need to spend a lot of money. But in Taipei and in Hong Kong, that's in the same conference, but in Asia, it's very big benefit for Malaysia because you have Asia, very cheap. So you can fly in whole Asia very easier. So for these 2 conferences, my experience is like that. If you want to more know about the detail, I think that you can go to the internet to search the brief on the internet. That will be very clear, because you have been held in many countries. The most important is to join the next APRC, I think.
Thank you very much for the shout out, Hugo, for attending the next APRC. But we should also all take Hugo's advice, probably to experience at least once attending the Interrota. Basically based on the perks that he has given, where you actually get to meet a lot of people from different around the world just in one event. So with that, we should also move on to the next sharing, where we talk about round trips. So round trips is that it is organized by different districts, by different countries, where they will invite rotractors from different districts or even countries to actually join a round trip in their home and country. So I believe that some of you guys may know our PDRR Benjamin Lee. He has actually attended once the Poland round trip last year. So maybe can we have PDRR Ben to share a little bit about his experience on this Poland round trip?
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. As Wonky said, round trip is hosted by different country, either multi-district or only one district. Basically, they are like a trip to host you from all the rotractor with a very basic payment. Like the one I went to Poland, I only pay €150 for 19 days. So it is a very worth, monetary wise, it's very worth, and the experience is awesome. Of course, you don't get any fancy hotel or everything, but you get to host by the locals, rotractors, or even Rotarian, which means you have a chance to actually experience the lifestyle of the local there, which you are not like a tourist. The best experience I have in in this Poland round trip is that I get to try on shooting range, like the real gun one. If anyone interested, I can share. You can private message me or find me. I can share you some videos or photos that I have. type of gun at that road trip, because one of the road tractor there is a gun freak. He actually collect gun for as a hobby. I think everyone should try to have at least try to have get a experience like this. And the fun part is that we have 6 of us, we from different country get together to experience this whole trip together, which I never thought that it will be happen in my life. It's a very special experience. Thank you. Wongi, back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, PDR Benjamin Lee. Yeah, I do agree that all these events will probably cost a bunch, but I do believe that it is worth it, especially the experience is priceless. I remember one of our retractors, Derek Young from Retract Club of PJ, he mentioned that his first salary was actually spent on his first ever APRC. So with that, I think that the experience is pretty worth it. So maybe we should try to give it a try once. And for those that who are interested in the Interrota, the Interrota 2020 has been postponed to next year. The new date is actually June 5th to 9th, if I'm not mistaken. It will be held in Hong Kong. So for those that who are interested, you may still visit their website to check out for more details. Now, moving on to our next session where we talk about sister club and twinning club. I believe that some of you guys may have heard about it, and even about sister district. We are actually maintaining a sister district relationship with District 3501 Taiwan, with our own district 3300 Malaysia. So to come up with all these relationship, maybe Lee Kun, could you explain to us how do we actually establish this kind of relationship with different districts or even different clubs from different countries? Lee Kun, passing it to you.
All right. Okay. Okay. So many might confuse about the difference between twin club and sister club. So correct me if I'm wrong. Sister club is actually within the same district, while the twin club is actually cross district. This is what I understand from my past experience. But actually, at the moment, we are using the twin club and sister club interchangeably. So now there is not much a difference if you want to use twin or sister. So questions, what is sister club or twinning club? Twinning club or sister club is normally signed between a few clubs. You can have 2 or more, or you can have within the same district or different district. You both of you agree to work together on a common project, to have a common goal, to have great fellowship, and to share benefit and benevolence with each other. So why do you want to have a sister club or twinning club? Is to take the initiative to create better understanding and goodwill through joint activities and community projects. So maybe can we have Shirley or Altia? They will be the best person to explain to you how do you maintain a sister club or twinning club relationship with each other. Shirley is from Penang and Altia is from RAC Chinatown, Manila, Philippines. So over to you, Shirley.
Hi everyone, I'm Shirley. Thank you, Lee Kun and Wongi. Okay, I'm from Retract Club of Penang. So my training club with RAC Chinatown, Manila has been started, I think, about 10 years ago, whereby Alexis come visit us. So after that, after 4 years, we will start to officially sign our sister club agreement until now. So normally we meet each other once during APRC, or they will come and visit us, or we will visit them. Then usually we'll prepare some snacks from Malaysia, and then they will prepare some snacks from Philippines. So we'll exchange each other. And then the most important thing is we will stick together wherever we go, such as international events, APRC or Interrota. And that's where we meet and being crazy to each other. So, but we also keep in touch. We will texting each other maybe every day, every night, and also teasing each other. I think teasing is the best way to keep our relationship close, and we'll party nonstop and talk nonstop every day. Then other than that, we do have our IS project every year, which is those projects will be sharing by PPRTL later from my sister club RSC Chinatown Manila. And the most important is I think is we have to support your sister club unconditionally. So we will support their project, and also they will support same to us whatever and whatever we need. And I think it's the relationship will getting stronger through support. Okay, next I would like to invite my sister PP Artia to share about our projects. Artia, are you there?
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. So, good afternoon. I'm PPL Thea from Rotary Club of Chinatown, Manila. So, as PP Shelley mentioned, we've been sister clubs for 6 years already, 5 terms, that is. So, we signed the year 2014, Rotary year 2014-2015, and then we've been renewing our agreement for 5 years already. So for some examples of our projects together, for 5 years we have been doing the Bottle of Hope. This is a joint project. The Bottle of Hope is a fundraising project to fund the 12 Days of Christmas project. So the 12 Days of Christmas is also a partnership project with sometimes with other clubs too, but the most every year we do it with Rotary Club of Penang, be it a joint one project, or we have it simultaneously, like they do a project and we do a project as well. And another is the Feed a Kid, Give a Kit. This is a community service project last 2018. So we did this with our sister club, Rotaract Penang, and with other clubs as well from other countries too. And a while ago, Shelly mentioned that the most important thing to maintain the sister club is through supporting each other. I very much agree with Shelly in this, because even though we are like very far from each other, Malaysia and Philippines, aside from the social media platforms that we have now that we can stay in contact with each other, we keep on supporting our projects too. Like if they have a local project that is done in Malaysia, or we have a local project done here in the Philippines, we make it to a point that we will get support from each other. So one example of this is their calamansi tree planting. I think this was last year. So they had the fundraising for this project, and our club donated or shared a little of our from our club to support this project. And they will do the same if we have a local project here. They always support us, like even if it's just simple sharing of a cost or a Facebook post. So yes, this is so far this is the some of our examples of our projects together that's been keeping us together for 5 years. Yes.
Thank you, Atia. So Liku?
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So I guess if you meet each other during international conference, you have the opportunity to meet new people, and then you have a common objective and project. Then you form a sister club or tuning club agreement, or friendship club or buddy club. So maybe one question to Shirley. What is RSC Chinatown Manila to you?
Wow, it's more like family, just a friend.
Okay. Then Altia, can you use one word to describe RSC Penang?
Yeah. I think this will prove that we really are sister clubs for a long time already, because I would also say one word to describe RAC Penang is family.
Ooh,
so we've more than friends, really. We've like become a family. Like if they visit us or we visit them in Malaysia, it's more like being reunited with a family member. yeah, I think that's it. A family. That's the best word to describe our relationship and each other.
Yeah. Thank you, Shirley and Althea. I believe many people will understand the same thing, because I believe a lot of the clubs in our district has actually sister club or twinning club with, for example, I think Subang with Manila, Ampang with Zhongli in Taiwan, and then we have Pudu with Taiwan club, and then KJ. That we are all having sister club relationship with other countries. So if any IS director that intend to have sister or twinning club relationship with other district or other club outside Malaysia, this is a sample. I know it's a bit difficult to see now, but this is an twin club agreement between RAC Penang and RAC Chinatown Manila, and you can always ask the sample from your IS directors. So a twin club agreement, and then you will have a twin club certificate to certify the relationship between the two clubs. So yeah, this is the sample, and yeah, that's all from my side. So passing back to you, Wonky, on the
All right.
sister district.
Thank you, Likun. So I think based on the sharing experience so far from PP Alta and also PP Shirley, we can actually tell that friendship is actually one of the main motivation that drive us through attending international events, or even establishing this kind of relationship with other clubs as well. So we have one question related to Sister Club raised by Joshua, where he mentioned that how do we actually choose which club to form this relationship with? Likun, will you be able to address this for Joshua?
Yeah, how do we choose a club to form the sister club relationship? I guess first you have to click. You have to first have you have a sync mindset, like you have a common goal to achieve, or common objective that you want to achieve in your Rotaract journey, and then maybe you all have share the same idea for project. Maybe you both of you shared the idea to do something better for the community of Orang Asli, for example, or you just want to have fellowship or have fun, or you want to understand each other countries. I think all of this will be your reason why you want to form a sister, or you want to find a family member in district, or you're in Rotaract. Yeah. I hope that answer your question, Joshua.
All right, thanks Likun for answering. So as mentioned earlier, that our district is actually having a sister district relationship with District 3501 Taiwan. So this relationship has been going on for almost 20 years. So Hugo, you as part of one of the most experienced retractors here, do you actually recall how this relationship was started back in 20 years ago, and so far what have you actually gained from this relationship with us? Hugo.
Hi. It's a history, because they start from 1999. So I have not been to Rotaract. So it starts from also from the international convention. As I know, the relationship is start from the Rotary International Convention in 1999 in Singapore. In that convention, do you know the Rotary International Convention have a pre-convention for the Rotaractors? If you have been there, you need to know Rotary International have this workshop for the Rotaractors. So our PDR, in that time they are DRs. They meet there with your DR. They maybe talk to each other and have good feeling. They both are male, not male and female. Like have good feeling together, and they talk about like before we attended to international conference or convention. You can communicate with other countries people, and you feel that maybe we can have friends, but you're not sure. So they think that we can try to meet to each other. So they start to have a group from a club to Malaysia to meet with the DRA they meet before, and the next year they come to Taiwan meet before meet to other clubs member. They both of them and all their club members, they feel it's good, and I think this relationship can be created is because that Malaysia people you have very good ability in language because you can speak, I think, at least 5 languages. Also, especially Mandarin, so they can easier communicate with each other. So I think the language ability is the key issues for this relationship. So let's start from 1919. So, but during these 20 years, we still have some problem because they want to be sister district this year, but we cannot sure we want to be the sister district 5 years later. So it's very hard to keep 20 years. So during, I remember 7 or 8 years before, normally every year have 15 to 20 people to another country. But I remember 8 years before, in that year only have 3 or 5 to from Malaysia to Taiwan, almost disconnect. So it's very hard to keep 20 years. So during that time, we think how to solve this problem. So we make a decision because we prepare a budget. We prepare a budget for the 20 members. During that year, your district don't have any members come to Taiwan, but in that year we ask them to, you must come to Taiwan. So we use the 20 people's budget to host 5 people. So you can know in that year they live in very high class levels hotel, and it's 20 members budget food. So even so I think this relationship can keep 20 years is because both of us want to keep this forever. I think that's the most important because I think it's very hard to keep every year to go abroad or to host another members from other countries because they spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of things to host that. So what I want to say is very appreciate because I have been hosted by your members, and we also very like to host you guys come to Taiwan. So that's why we can host 20 years. I think both of us want to keep this relationship forever. That's most important.
Yeah, thank you very much, PDRI Hugo, for the sharing.
Wonky,
this.
Wonky,
Sorry?
Can I add? Because I think that was the time where we were my experience as well. So
yeah.
I think based on what Hugo said, although we started long ago, but I think in 2006 to 2008, our district, we do have quite a lot of issues internally within our district. So 2006, 2007, I think there was no visit at all. And then we started back in 2008, 2009, where we only sent 5 people to Taiwan, and that was the most stimulus time during the sister district visit because we did not send over and we couldn't be able to host the Taiwanese properly as what we wanted. But a good thing is we managed to solve that. I think after that, we are having issues with too many people wanting to go and too many people wanting to come to Malaysia. So it's a better problem to have than not having those visits at all. So good thing that the Taiwanese, our sister district back then 3500, stood by us 3300, and they do support us and trying to get us to go to Taiwan and prepare an unforgettable visit so that we will come back and spread those news to our own protectors. So our greatest gratitude to Hugo and the team back then, and 3500 when we had issues back in 2006, 2008. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the sharing, Sanjeev, Rotarian Sanjeev. Yeah, so how this works is that we actually take turns to visit each other, where this term we are supposed to actually visit Taiwan in April, but unfortunately because of the pandemic, we are actually planning to postpone it to next year, April 2nd to 6th of April 2021. So we will be releasing the details very soon. So for those who are interested, please stay tuned for the info, where we will be opening a IS group chat for all the IS directors in District 3300, where we'll post the details in there. So that's where you can share it out to your club and also your members to let them know about this event. Yeah, so forward, when we talk about funding, I remember one of the questions raised by Iman whether if these events are being self-funded. So the answer is actually yes, but to also take note on PPLTA's advice where it is great that you attend these events to expand your connection. So that's where you actually get to meet different Rotaractors from different countries as well. So talking about funding, maybe Likun, could you tell us about the bit funding topics around international service? Back to Likun.
Yes, if you can see my share screen, you can actually, I mean, some of you might feel very familiar because this is actually taken from the morning session from Jasmine. So yeah, but on top to that, besides the global grants, the support grants, and the district grants, we actually have this thing called district subsidy for club hosting international Rotaractors on behalf of the district. You can request up to 50 ringgit per international Rotaractors per visit. And of course, you have to ensure that the district must have sufficient fund for that. And the international Rotaractors must first inform the district in writing to request for the hosting. And during the hosting, you must have at least one club meeting and one ComServe project or PD project together with the local Rotaractors. And the 50 ringgit, you can only use it for traveling, accommodation, meal for international Rotaractors, not local Rotaractors, but for international one, banner or souvenirs. So if any club, of course now we can't do hosting because due to the recent pandemic, but in the future, if any club that require the district subsidy in terms of hosting, you can always send the proposal to the district treasurer Long Fu. So the second one, district grant, as usual, if you have a great district, you have a great IS project, you can always submit your proposal to the treasurer, and that is subject to the approval of the district board directors, yeah, district exco, including the presidents, the vote. So the third one, we also have the Yayasan Club Rotary Malaysia by way of matching fund for any humanitarian project that involve Rotary. So how this works is when you have a Rotary Club get the funding for RM1K, and then you have your Rotary Club for another 1K, then you have 2K in total. So the Yayasan will match the fund and to top out another 2K. Of course, the maximum will go up to 10K, and it becomes 4K in total. So this one, if you want to know more, you can always ask the district IS directors, or you can always ask your presidents for more details. And of course, the global grant and also district disaster fund, all this is all available for you. So if you require subsidy or financial assistance for your IS project, you can always seek assistance from your from the district IS director or your president. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kun, for the explanation. So moving to our next topic, where we actually touch on a little bit about World Rotaract Week and also End Polio. So Likun, these are actually one of the very famous, I would say, event projects where we actually do probably some collaboration or projects during the World Rotaract Week. And also in conjunction with End Polio, we actually do donations as extra. So maybe Likun, could you just brief us about what these two items are about? Likun, passing it back to you.
Sure, thanks, Wonky. So due to the time constraint, I will be very briefly on the just the very basic info for these two items. World Rotaract Week is actually happening in the week during the week of the 13th March to commemorate the founding of the first club of RAC North Carolina in 1968. So if you have, we always encourage collaboration between clubs across district or in the district to have projects during this month. So if you have any good projects, you can always apply for the World Rotaract Week Certificate of Recognition to recognize your accomplishment. So that is for World Rotaract Week. And for End Polio, that is the biggest international effort by Rotary International, where we partner with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So how this thing works is when you donate USD 25, they will actually give top up your, it's something like the Yayasan matching fund. So if you give 25, they will give 50, and total you will give 75 to the donation fund. So 24th October is the World Polio Day. And for more than 2 years, we have seen wild polio cases in only 2 countries left, Afghanistan and Pakistan. But then, unfortunately, we have Malaysia was reported to have the first polio case after 1992 last year. So if you are still thinking about ideas what to have during your term, you can always consider having any project related to end polio, and you can celebrate 24th October as the World Polio Day together with your club, your Rotary Club, and etc. So these two are is something that you can consider during your term for IS project. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Likun, for the sharing. So we will also be sharing some of the upcoming projects from the district as well. So I may now invite our incoming district international service director, Hui Ting, to probably just give us some idea of what we're going to do for the next term. Hui Ting, passing it to you.
Hi guys. So other than the Goodwill visit that was postponed to next term in April, so Wonky and I is actually looking into having some virtual sharings with certain selected countries since we couldn't go to overseas recently. So Wonky and I are actually working on this, and details will be releasing soon. We don't really have a concrete plan yet. So feel free to share with us if you have any ideas for the district to plan, but we're actually looking into some virtual sharing maybe with other countries on how to on sharing on different topics lah. So stay tuned, and then we'll be releasing our details soon. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Hui Ting. And also, apart from the virtual sharing that we are planning, we actually also have our APRRC Malaysia that will be supposedly held this year in September. Yeah, so APRRC literally stands for Asia Pacific Regional Road Track Conference. So it's basically just like our DRC event, but it's not just at our own district level, but it's at the whole Asia Pacific regional area. So we are actually planning it for this September 3rd to 6th, but unfortunately because of the current pandemic, we are looking at postponing the event to next year. But further details we will be releasing out very soon, so you can just stay tuned to our website. So to give a little bit of history, is how it works is that every country will actually have to bid for the opportunity to host this event. So we actually went over to APRC Manila 2 years back and also did the bidding, and we have made it to actually get to host the event this term. So we hope to see you guys real soon until the situation gets better, and we will also further release more details for everyone. Now, apart from that, we also have the Rotary Virtual Convention 2020, which will be held very soon, 20th to 21st June. So for those that are interested, you may visit the website to sign up for the general session to actually join in a convention. And also aside from that, as mentioned by PDR Hugo earlier, the next convention will also be held in Taipei, tentatively at the 12th to 16th of June 2021. So for those that are interested, you may check out for the pre-convention details that we'll be releasing by them very soon. So if you are going to the Goodwill visit and going to the convention again, so you'll be visiting Taiwan twice next year, just for your information. Now, just to also top up a little bit from what Likun would like to mention is about the awards night. So maybe Likun will be able to address this.
Yeah. So if you have a project which you want to be recognized, or you want to submit for the award submission, it will also always be great if you can submit your project for awards to be recognized and shared among the Rotary actors. You have two here. One is the District Most Outstanding IS Project, which is to be submitted before 31st May, and it will be announced during the DAN, District Award Nights. And the second one is on the global level, that is Rotary Outstanding Project Award. That one is to recognize exceptional IS project that focus and increase humanitarian service goals of Rotary International. And the deadline is normally on 1st February, and the winner will be receiving USD 1,000 towards future projects activities. Okay, and the third one, if you want to fulfill your DRA citation easily, you can always do one IS project, and there will be one tick off from the criteria. That's it.
That sounds very easy, right? So just a note for you all to take note as well. So we are coming to the end of the session, and we still have one more questions that we have in our chat box from Digilio, where he mentioned that now that all Rotary clubs are in RI, all these friendship visits are now governed by Rotary Friendship Exchange Policy. So what are your thoughts on this? Maybe Likun will be able to share us a bit of your opinion.
I think in terms of, because now we are actually a part of RI, and we are also members of Rotary International, and all these friendship visits are governed by the Rotary Friendship Exchange Policy. To be honest, whatever visits that we have within the district or cross district, we are always, the main thing is fellowship. So I think so long as we both have fun during the Rotary journey, I think that is what our policy is, to have fun and to do service, fellowship through service. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Likun. I hope that this addresses your concerns, Digilio. So now we are coming to the end of our workshop, and we would like to thank PDRI Hugo for your time being with us today as our guest speaker, and also thank you everyone else here. Not to forget the IS directors, incoming IS directors, please do not forget to give us your contact number to me and Hui Ting, so that we could form this WhatsApp group for our future contact purposes. So if you do have any questions moving forward, feel free to approach any of us, even our DRE Lau Likun. And also, we also appreciate that if you could give us some of your feedback about this workshop using a link that we'll be sharing very shortly. The survey is about less than a minute, so probably just give a quick one. Now, before we end, maybe Hugo, do you have any things that you would like to top up on the workshop for today?
It's good to see you, my old friend and new friends, because we have been long time to meet each other. So that's a very good experience to join this workshop. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Big Brother Sanjeev, sharing many experiences before. Okay, thank you all, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hugo. Very, very honored to have you here with us now. For those who will be staying for the closing ceremony, so just still stay into this link. So the closing ceremony will be starting very soon. So I will pass it back to Terence.
Sorry, one thing to add on. I think the fact that all the foreign Rotary actors are all here in this event is the very reason why the IS is formed for. So the reason, I mean, we met international friends from across the world, and they are all here for in the name of Rotary, and we fellowship through service. I think that is basically what IS is, in short. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for the international Rotary actors as well. So we hope to see you guys very soon. Okay, passing back to Terence.
Okay, I think we have came to the end, the culmination of all our digital road track assembly sessions, and we have finally reached our closing ceremony. Joshua, is my audio audible?
Yep, all good.
Okay, that's great. So let us begin with simple salutations and thank you to our special guests for the past 3 days, to our organizing chair, DRN Joshua Tan, to our district governor, Leo Cheng Lim, to our past district governor, PDG Paul, PDG Kirinjit, and PDG City, to our incoming DG, Teo Kwan Sui, to our district governor nominee, Datuk Bindi Rajasegaran, to our district governor nominee designate, Dr. Krishna, to our district secretary for youth, Johnson Pang, to our district road track chair, Kelvin Koo, to our district road track representative, Chester Chin, to our incoming district road track representative, Lau Li Kun, to our past district road track representative, Rotarian Sanjeev, to fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors, and guests. So for the past 3 days, all of you have been gathering, has been joining us for the digital road track assembly, the first of its kind, due to the current pandemic. And surprisingly, there's a silver lining behind all this, as the feedback that our committee has been receiving has been outrageously positive and very encouraging due to a lot of heartfelt sharing by many of our speakers and also a lot of information that is being gained. So without further ado, for our closing ceremony, I would like to invite our district road track chair, Kelvin Koo, to deliver his address. Please put your hands together for DRC, Kelvin Koo.
Thank you very much, Terence. Thank you for the applause, everyone. I don't know how to start because I had a speech prepared earlier, and I guess it gives me great as a pleasure to inform those of you who were stuck here and have not been informed. We have now entered a new phase in our MCO recovery. Interstate travel is now allowed, so I guess more events can be planned as you move along. So once you guys leave this entire assembly, please do check on the updates and plan your events as you go along. As for the DRA, I think we are in unprecedented times. Yes, Wai Sang is here, Leung is here as well. We have now come to the stage where a lot of things are being done in new manners. We are embarking on new journeys. We are actually exploring new voyages. And I'm very proud to note that this entire DRA was done virtually, with all of you being so supportive of one another. I mean, having to take time off your private time to just come online and to see everyone here virtually, I think that brings huge volume into what Road Track is all about. Now, moving forward at the close DRA, as we move on to the new term, having new leaders take place, having new trainings being done, what I really hope from all of you is that we can start finding and developing the value that we see in Road Track. And I think DRR Lee Kun shares this same mentality, and I hope for all of you as well. We have been in Road Track for a very, very long time. We have been here doing things for the community, doing things for ourselves, developing ourselves professionally. However, what is really lacking is the fact that we still can't seem to find the value that we cherish in this organization. When I say value, I don't speak purely about monetary or fame. I talk about how, if you tell someone to become a Rotaractor, will that person say yes, or will that person hesitate? And that is a challenge that I think we all have moving forward. Your friends, family members, your peers, people that you know, with all these new changes happening, I really hope that Road Track can finally be at the standing where it deserves to be at. Not only as a youth organization for the children, for kids, for teenagers, this is an organization for professionals, adults, entrepreneurs, leaders, and hopefully at the end of it all, we will lead our nation and the world to in a better place for everyone. So I left out the salutation primarily because I was so excited that I can go to Penang this weekend. To all our Rotary leaders here today, Bindi, Theo, Leo, Paul, I call all of you on a first name basis, and I hope that eventually we can respect one another as equals and no longer in separation. Rotary, eventually we are members of Rotary International. We are part of a big family. We are part of this service organization that is just here to develop ourselves and eventually to provide a better life for the community we are in. With that, I really wish all of you the best, and I thank you. I'm very proud of all of you, and I really hope to see all of you again very soon, that now we've entered the recovery phase. If you guys are free enough to organize the next session, drinks on me, dinner on me, meal on me, whatever it may be, I hope to see all of you again very, very soon. Congratulations on the job well done, and thank you very, very, very much. Good job, guys.
Okay, with this, a huge thank you to DRC Kelvin Koo for his very enlightening speech, propagating and questioning ourselves on what is the true value of road track and where do we stand in this new normal. If anything, this is a great opportunity for Rotaractors to reach out to more people than ever before. As we can see from this first digital road track assembly, we have reached numbers and people that we could not have done so back in the days, but we can in this new normal and in this era of Zoom and Google Meet. So once again, without further ado, we have a very special address that we are waiting by our district governor nominee and Rotaract convener. Please put our hands together for Dato' Bindi Raja Segaran.
Thank you, Terence. Organizing Chair and Road Track Trainer Joshua, District Governor Leo Cheng Lim, past District Governor Paul C.K. Lee, Advisor to APPRC, incoming Rotary District Trainer, past District Governor Kiranjit Kaur, District Road Track Chair Kelvin Koo, DRR Chester, incoming DRR Lee Kun, fellow Rotaractors from here and abroad, and fellow Rotarians. Incoming District Governor Teo Kwan Swee sends his apologies as he is indisposed at this time. It has been a very engaging couple of days, and the training events organized have been impressive to say the least. It has been a fantastic show of skills, abilities, talent, capped with knowledge. I've been given this honor to formally close this event with a short address. I would like to specially compliment our district trainer, PDG Kiran, for her valuable advice and guidance. She has devoted a lot of time and effort in overseeing this entire structure. Compliments also to incoming DRR Lee Kun and DRRE Joshua, who is the road track trainer. I can see that all those who took part in this are now enriched, energized, and ready for acts of leadership. Incoming RI President Holger Kneck has placed immense importance on the youth and road tractors. His favorite topic is road tractors, and the way he dresses and his youthful enthusiasm, he can even pass off as a road tractor. Now we live in historic times, not only experiencing this pandemic, but also experiencing your digital road track assembly and seeing the amalgamation of road track into Rotary. We have changed as never before, broken new grounds to adapt the new status of road track. Past RI President Barry Resin was the main force to have uplifted the status of road tractors, and it was not done overnight. But this was initiated some time back and came to fruition only recently at the last Council of Legislation. So in the background, a lot of work and importance has been given, and we take pride in the Rotaract movement. Now, talking a bit about the Council of Legislation and how it was voted, we have 535 districts around the world, and each district sends one representative to the Council of Legislation to sit and deliberate and endorse on resolutions submitted by every district or every Rotarian. Any Rotarian in the world can submit a resolution. So it's like a mini United Nations. And at the first sitting, this resolution on Rotaractors was rejected. Then past RI President Barry and his team made numerous phone calls around the world, convincing districts and explaining to them the implications of this resolution and how advantageous it will be to Rotaractors. And at the second sitting the next day, it was passed with majority support. Do you know that all the new reforms have been suggested by Rotaractors themselves through a worldwide survey of RI, including removing the age limit and the amount of dues to be paid? The feedback from 9,000 over Rotaractors suggested on the amount of dues range from 39 USD to an average of 8. So finally, RI adopted the lower value of USD 8 for community-based and 5 for university-based clubs. It's a good thing RI did not accept the higher suggested amount of 39. Rotarians did not impose all this. Rotary was only setting the way to uplift the status of Rotaractors and to provide a seamless way to integrate Rotaractors into Rotary. Rotaractors, please be aware, we are not competing with each other, rather we are complementing each other. You have much to learn from us. And with all humility, I say we the Rotarians have much to learn from you as well. With this increase in your status comes responsibility, and going forward, your biggest responsibility is to create an outstanding and attractive image of the Rotaract movement. Rotaract has to be the elite youth movement in our country. And this is the challenge I put forth to you. You need to take up this challenge and prove that you are beyond the capabilities of other youth organizations and you have the greatest mileage with the support of Rotarians. And to make this movement great, you need courage, passion, and enthusiasm, which I realize all of you possess when I witness the online fundraising sing-a-thon on Facebook. Congratulations on that remarkable feat. Now, how do you do this? How do you make Rotaract the elite youth movement? In the interest of time, I will share with you 3 pertinent points. Number 1, you need to realize your value. And Kelvin just mentioned this about the value of Rotaract to society, the value of Rotaract to the new members. Sit down with your team and list all the advantages of being in Rotaract. Not only how advantageous it is to you and the value you give to new members, but also how best you are reflected in the community. What value do you bring to the community? And this refers to the effectiveness of your projects and your branding. Your biggest advantage is that you are an international organization. Take leverage of that fact. Number 2, you need to identify which is the most suitable demographic group that will be the ideal Rotaractor. And to do that, you need to ask yourselves, who is the ideal Rotaractor? This question is best answered by all of you. And number 3, you need to be visible. And one way is your involvement with the interactors. You need to be role model for interactors. Interactors can identify themselves more with your age group than us. They would be more comfortable doing joint projects with you. You have to be mentors to them and provide leadership training for them. And this was proven successful in yesterday's District Interact Training Assembly, which was a coalition of Rotarians, Rotaractors, and Interactors. Well done, guys. Your participation was truly appreciated. Now, moving on, we are in this adventure together. There will be times when you will be taken outside your comfort zone, and that's when you will need to test the limits. For this, you need to face challenges with self-control and self-confidence so that you will be an inspiration to others. You guys are young, you guys have amazing energy levels and fantastic ideas. However, always remember to have humility in your actions, respect in your interactions, and grow your capacity to be genuine and generous. Let's together make the Road Track movement an elite youth movement in the country. And as your incoming Road Track convener, you have my utmost support in this. I leave you now with a quote. Surround yourself with dreamers and doers, and believers and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see greatness in you, even when you don't see it yourself. And we, the Rotarians, see the greatness in all of you. With that, I wish all of you a successful journey in life. Thank you.
Once again, a great thank you to DGN Dato Bindi for her very educational speech, highlighting the symbiotic relationship between Rotary and Rotaractors. And more importantly, DGN Bindi actually give us action points, 3 action points that we should look into in order to build Rotrack into an elite youth movement. Once again, thank you, DGN Bindi. We love the speech. We appreciate your sharing. We look forward to work with you as well. And last but not least for today, the past 3 days of digital road track assembly, one of its kind, is not possible without our organizing chairperson. With this, let us put our hands together for our district road track representative nominee, Joshua Tang.
I think I just have a quick correction for what Terence said. He said it's not possible without me, but honestly, it's not possible without the team that's behind it, the trainers, the support from the Rotary side, and as well as all of you guys that are still here today. So without further ado, good afternoon, good afternoon, DG Leo, PDGs that are present today, incoming District Governor Teo, DGN Dato Bindi, DG Nominee Designate Dr. Krishna, District Secretary for Youth Johnson Pang, DRC Kelvin Koo, District Road Representative Chesto Chin, IDRR Lauli Kun, PDRRs Sanjeev, Hugo, Rotarians, Rotractors, and guests. Once again, I just want to thank you guys for attending this 3 days training. I hope you guys really got something out of it, because that's the whole reason why we had this in the first place. And I can see that from the numbers, you guys really just joined all of the workshop, even though you guys are not having the positions. And I really applaud for you guys because that just shows your interest in the club. And I have a feeling that you guys will go far in this road track journey. Last but not least, I just want to say thank you again to all of you that are present today, to the trainers, to the team. None of this would be possible without you guys. And yeah, happy road track thing. And be a really proud Rotractor because you guys are part of this huge international organization. And yeah, go forth and make a difference. That's all. Thank you. Lee Kun, do you have anything to add on?
Happy Rotaracting.
Happy Rotaracting, guys. Yeah.
All right, once again, a huge thank you to our OC, Joshua Tang. I think to add on to Joshua's point, right, I think it's a mark of a great leader that he give out the credit to his team when he received one. So I think Roadtrack has a very bright future ahead with our IDRR, Lee Kun, and also our DRN, Joshua. With this, I think to sum it up, great 3 days, great event, great feedback. I would like to thank all of you on behalf of the district for joining us for this digital Roadtrack assembly. It's been a very special event. And do remember to follow the district on Facebook and Instagram at D3300 Roadtrack. Right? Thank you, everyone. And see you soon in our next event.